Hey, what's up guys, Matt Shiny here, come back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about some super cheap investments you should be looking at making right now if you guys are wanting to cash in on some profit later in 2021. And I'm super excited to bring you guys this one, but before we get into it, only about 20% of you guys are actually subscribed to the channel, and it helps out a lot if you are not already subscribed. Discord is going to be the top link in the description. Let's hop on into it. Alright, so if we head over here to the Steam market and sort by price, you're going to see a lot of cases up here that are super cheap, and that could be good and it could be bad for investing. Now most of these cases that are super cheap are, if you go over here to the Csgo database, you're going to see they are the prime drops, which means these cases are actively dropping and there's actively a lot more of them being added to the market than taking away. Now if we go down here to the non-drops, these are cases that are people who do not have prime status on their CSGO account. There still is a pretty decent amount of people that don't have prime status but still play the game, and that's just because they purchased it through the free-to-play, what CSGO did, and they haven't reached level 21. Here you're going to see 6 cases that are somewhat popular, somewhat not. These are iffy on if you should invest into. But more up here to the prime drops, you're going to want to avoid these 5 cases for sure. The Danger Zone, Prisma, CS20, Prisma 2, and Fracture case. And that's because we don't see these cases even coming close to being pushed out of the prime drop rotation at this time. Now the clutch case is a little different. It's the oldest one in the prime drop. What this means is if we get another case, now it's very unlikely that the Operation Broken Fang case will be introduced as a prime drop. That's just very unlikely, and especially with Shattered Web, not something we will most likely see. But later, when there is another case added, the clutch case will most likely be removed and put into non-prime drops, or it could be pushed out of the rotation entirely. Now, the reason it is very unlikely that we will see the Broken Fang case go in is because of Shattered Web. And although the Broken Fang case does have gloves, which is something that a lot of these cases don't have, and that's the reason some people think that the clutch case is still in the prime drops. If we see another case in the future that has gloves, it is very likely that it'll push the clutch case out of the prime drop rotation, and the price of it will increase a lot. Now right now it is one of the more expensive cases that is in the prime drops as 12 cents. And that's just because a lot of people are investing into it thinking that it might be pushed out, as it does have some gloves and some skins that are somewhat desirable in the M4A4 Neo Noir. When you're case investing here, what you're mainly going to be looking for is that very long-term investment. You're not going to see case prices double overnight unless it is something very, very rare, like the clutch case being pushed out of the active drop pool. We're not going to see stuff like that commonly, and therefore cases are going to be that slow, steady investment that you can get for really cheap and be able to make a lot of money off your investments in percentage form. You're not going to be making 20 bucks per case, because it's very unlikely that we're going to see one of these cases go up to that price, but you're going to be able to get 300-400% return without having to do a whole lot and without the price actually increasing that much. So when you go to sell, it's not going to be too hard to sell because cases are something that's just a lot in quantity. Now quantity is something you're definitely going to want to keep your eyes on, and such a great example is the Operation Hydra case. As you look here, there is 1,335 cases actively listed on the market, and there's 1,200 keys. And this is the reason a while back we had the Hydra case key only going for around $1 before keys were trade banned, and before they were almost rejected as keys. No one wanted to trade for them as keys. And you can see the price difference here, as most of these cases keys are between $6 and $7, but the Hydra case key is going for the same price you'd be able to buy it for from Steam. Now, there is a lot of debate on whether demand is the biggest impact for investments, and demand is definitely a big impact for investments, but you also got to keep an eye on quantity. It's not something that a lot of people actively look into, but it's something that you should definitely be keeping your eye on, because quantity here is the reason that the Operation Hydra case is so expensive. There's not a ton of demand for this case. It's a great case, it's got the Op Onitaji, and it's definitely a desirable skin, but the reason this case holds such a high price point is just because of the lack of cases we actively have in the market. Another investment that has been gaining a lot of traction recently is going to be investing into the lowest tier skins from the Control collection. And right now, I personally am looking at the minimal wear ones because I think the factory new at 10 cents, 11 cents is actually pretty expensive. And the field tested and minimal wear skins are roughly the same price, so I figured personally I'm going to spend an extra cent and get the minimal wear. But people are looking at these and they're also comparing them to the Norse collection from Shattered Web. Now these skins are going for between 28 and about 35 cents per one of the lowest tier skins. Now if you head over here to the Control collection, you'll see that these skins are going for around 8 cents maximum, most of them 7 cents. And with the importance of a buy order here, you're able to get these for 6 cents. This is something that you can't really lose on just because the price will increase over time. It's very unlikely that we'll see the price ever drop below the 6 cent mark. Now the reason people are investing into these over the higher tier skins is just because these are such a low value. Right now they're only 6-7 cents, and that makes it super easy for them to double their money without the actual skin price having to go up too much. That's the problem with investing into skins like the AK-47 Redline, is for you to double your money there, you're going to have to see the skin go up to a $30 value, and that's just not too feasible. But with a lot of lower skins like these, the price is already so low, and the price right now is, in my opinion, very undervalued, as we are seeing people just sell them instantly as they open up stars. It's great for someone trying to buy in because these skins costed someone around $1.50 to get, and they're just selling them off now for super cheap. This is something we've seen before in the Norse collection from Operation Shattered Web. We saw these lowest tier skins going for around 6-7 cents, and they stayed pretty stagnant at that price until we got a couple months in and the price started gradually rising as people are looking at these for trade ups. That's the big problem with this, is you're going to be kind of banking on that there's going to be trade ups for these skins because no one's really actively searching for these skins to use them as play skins. But the trade ups community has grown a lot in the past year into looking into different options, any ways to make profit, and I think this is definitely something that they're going to be keeping on their radar. There's something that I feel like almost every person who does trade ups has looked at, these lowest tier skins, because these are the biggest profit margins. Even when your profit's only 3 cents, that could potentially be 20% profit. Now right now you're probably sitting there wondering, what about the other two collections, the Ancient and the Havoc collection? Those collections also have the same tier skins. They also have these lower tier skins that are also decently cheap right now. And I think you should definitely be diversifying what you're buying into just in case we see something very unlikely. But these skins are not going to be the most profitable moving forward. Right now they already have a little bit of a higher price point as there's not as many people actively opening up these collections. And that's going to be resulting in the price being a little bit higher, and I don't think these skins are as desirable at the top level, the AK X-Ray and the M4A1S Welcome to the Jungle. They're just not as desirable as the Op Fade, and that's just going to allow a lot higher price point already, and a price point that doesn't have a ton of room to grow, and therefore I don't think these skins are going to be the best moving forward. I personally am going to be picking up some of them, not as much as I am from the Control collection though, just because I think it's definitely good. You should be diversifying what you're buying into just in case we see something unlikely, like I said. But I don't think that these skins are going to have the most potential moving forward. There's not any specific skins that look particularly well among the industrial grade skins, any of them that really pop out, and therefore I don't think there's going to be any higher values for an unknown reason. But that is all I have for today, guys. I hope you have all enjoyed. This is definitely something you should be looking at right now, and it's super cheap to get into. It's not very expensive right now, but it's definitely going to be something that's a little bit more expensive in the future. Just wanted to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.